Hey troops, Roxy here and welcome to Roxee Plays Games and welcome back to another episode of Nimby Rails. Before I get into the video I want to do my usual thank yous. So thank you for everyone who has liked my previous videos and thank you for everyone who has subscribed to the channel. As always it is really appreciated. Right, I have done absolutely nothing since we since you last seen the video. I'm literally doing these back to back and I'm going to be putting them out on the same day as well. I just wanted to split them down into two videos rather than one kind of hour-long video. So we have laid our stations down and we've laid our tracks down. If you haven't watched episode 1, where I was doing that, I would recommend doing that. I do give some useful tips on finances and looking at overlays and all that sort of stuff. But we're just going to crack straight on. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to rename all of the stations. So what we need to do is we need to come onto tracks. We need to be on the move, delete and edit tracks option, or M. And then when we click on a station it will come up with this here, name fitness first, use automatic name. We're going to click or uncheck this box and that will allow us to rename this station. Hammersmith. And what you can do if you really wanted to is you can adjust the area that this station covers, and as you can see that number in the station will decrease as you make it smaller and increase as you make it bigger. If you remember when we was moving the stations around, or the station length in the blueprint, the number didn't really change too much. It may have gone up and down a little bit, but not quite as significant as this number is going up and down. So the first Shepherd's Bush Market is not called Shepherd's Bush Market, it's called a Gold Hawk Road. And done. That is Shepherd's Bush Market. So I'm just going to quickly rename all of these and then we will crack on with putting down some lines. Right, we are on the last station, renaming. Didn't want to do that. Paddington, it's not called Paddington Bear. We shall call this Paddington Underground. Underground. Yeah, Paddington Underground. Just obviously, my fact, I'm going to not call it Paddington Underground, I'm going to call it Paddington Circle Line. So when we come to put other tubes and overground stations here, we'll know which one's which, even though it's all colour coded anyway. Right, so let's click done. So that is now all of the stations renamed: Hammersmith, Goldhawk Road, Shepherd's Bush Market, Wood Lane, Latimer Road, Ladbroke Grove, Westbourne Park, Royal Oak and Paddington Circle. The next thing we want to do now is we want to put the line in. So we're going to go to lines, or F3, down the bottom left hand corner, create a new line, and this is where we will do our management of the line. So the first thing we're going to do is call this a circle line. The code, you can put a code in, it's kind of irrelevant really, it doesn't make any difference other than showing up on certain things, but we're just going to put in circle line. Actually circle line Hammersmith to Paddington. Right, the base ticket price, this is what, no matter how far they're going to go, they're going to pay this, and then they pay for the price per kilometre on top of that base price. This is going to take a little bit of playing around with, and you can basically put the prices up until passengers are dissatisfied, and then you just start reducing them until they're happy again, and then you find that happy medium. But we're just going to start off with a very simple base price of $1 and a price per kilometre of $1. The colour, we're on the circle line, so this is a yellow. The colour of the circle line is yellow. And then down the bottom here we're going to click add stops to line. So what you do now is, when you click on this, you'll see this A with a plus symbol and B with a plus symbol. It's going in, the arrows are pointing in the direction that the line will be going. So if we're starting off with Hammersmith, we want to be clicking B because we want to go in that direction. A is a dead end, so there's no point in clicking on that. So we could click on B. and then we're going to continue on the B. If we hit A, it's going to go back to the start, and then it's going to come back out again. So we make sure we click on the right one. B, 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 all the way up. We don't need to click on B at Paddington because similar to Hammersmith, this is the end of the line. Now we need to go back the opposite direction. So we're going to click on the A. So this will recognize then it is two different directions on the route. And then we're going to end at Goldhawk Road. So what this does now is it shows you the whole route, how long each length is, or each stop is. And if we click on this timing calculator button, we want to, the ideal speed, the maximum speed is 100 kilometers for the train. So we're just going to put an ideal speed of 90. It probably won't get up to that speed, but if we just put that in, estimate travel times, it then gives you a time for each leg. If we put that down to 80, which is probably going to be more realistic, then you can see it puts the time up a little bit for each leg. 70, estimate each one. So it's basically going to make each leg longer and longer. This doesn't necessarily mean how long it will take. This is just an estimate, so you can kind of go, right, it's going to take roughly this long to do that leg, so I need to have a gap of XYZ for each train. So bearing that in mind, the next two columns that we got, and this is something I didn't really understand to begin with, and it does take a little bit of working out, but we've got two columns here: a minimum stop time, speaks for itself. That's the minimum length of time that the train will wait at the station. You then got a minute interval time, and that is the minute duration in between each train. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that for efficiency, we want to make sure that the minimal interval is going to be sufficient enough so that we're not going to have too many trains and then have a backlog. And we'll see how it goes, but we'll need to be playing around a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a minimum stop time. You can click on these and change them individually, like this. Or if you come down here, minimum stop bulk time edit, if we change that to 30, set minimum stop times, it will change all of them. If you want to lock them, you can lock them so that they can't be changed when you do. If we used to change this to 10, these ones that are locked won't change. So let's just put that back up to 30. Unlock these in case we need to change this later on. The minimal interval. I'm going to start off, and again, this is something that may change as we go through, but I'm going to start off with a minimal interval time of 2 minutes. This, over a period of time once the trains have been running, will most likely change, but we'll just see how it goes. So that's the first thing that we're going to do, is set our timings. We've got our stations all laid out. Now we need to add some trains. So we're going to click on trains. Now there's multiple ways you can do this, and I'm not going to say one way is right and one way is wrong. It's your personal preference. Me personally, what I like to do is I like to put one train down, let it run, see how it works, see how long it is taking, so we can go back to the timings on here, make sure it's all fine, and then clone that train rather than putting down 20 trains and then realizing, well, actually this isn't working out how I want, and it's harder to manage it, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So we're going for the London 1992. We're going for the maximum length, which is 97.5 meters. Maximum capacity of, that's a bit ominous, isn't it? 666. I'm not going to bother changing any names and numbers. The hashtags will be to do with the code on the line. but I'm not going to change any of this. Base color, I'm just going to leave it as. The decor color is going to use a line color. All I'm going to do is I'm going to purchase one train. One train is going to cost me 11.4 million. Okay, so let us purchase. Now what's this going to do? It's going to bring up the timetable, and this is why I said I buy it in one, because if you've got 20 trains here, you have to go through each individual train and do the timetable. We're going to keep this fairly simple to begin with, and then later on as the series progresses we may go into a little bit more detail. But if we've got one train here, all you've got to do is click on this column here where the little warning symbol is, and then it puts all these timings here. You can adjust the times of when the train starts. We're just going to leave it at midnight. You then need to select the line that it's going to run on. Obviously we've only got the circle line at the moment, so that's going to be fairly simple. And then you need to start pick the start point of where you want that train to start from. So we're going to start from Hammersmith, Hammersmith B. So it's going to be starting on the B line, going in that direction. And that is it. That is the train done. We've got it selected on week, so basically it's put the whole week in. If you wanted to do days, then you can just uncheck that box and then do each individual time. We're just going to keep it very simple at the moment. I've changed nothing in the settings. This is the base one. You click on the train, you click on the little icon, it's all done. Like I said, if you had multiple trains here, you would have to click on each train, each time, each line, each start point for each individual train. If you want them to all be different, then obviously that would be the best way to do it. If you want them all to be the same, all you need to do is click on this clone button, and you then choose how many trains that you're going to have. Now I'm going to go for 15 trains, so I need to buy another 14. The reason why I'm doing this is I've already played around and worked out roughly how many trains that I need. I may need to add one or two more in. If I need to delete any, we can send them to either to a depot or we can just sell them. But essentially this is what we're going to go for, 15 trains initially. When I click on purchase now, all of these trains are down here. Now it's showing these warning symbols. The reason why is because the game is currently paused, but when I unpause it, they will all go away. If I hadn't have cloned them, if I'd have done them individual, it would show like this, but I would have to go through the timetable and whatnot with each individual one. But when I unpause it, because they're all cloned, it's going to do the same as what the first train did. So let's unpause that now. So these are all ready to go. 1, 2, and they're all essentially at Hammersmith now, waiting to go. Now what should be happening is the first one out will wait 30 seconds minimum time in the station and then depart. The second one then should wait 1.5 minutes. Sometimes it gets a little bit funky, which I've found, until it's been running for a little while and then they kind of even themselves out. Sometimes it may wait 30 seconds, sometimes it may wait a minute. But just bear with it. Like I say, this game is still in early development. There's still a lot of understanding to do, but we'll just see how it goes. So let's just close this all down. Let's unpause the game. Now bearing in mind it is 10:15 in the evening, we're not going to have full capacity on the trains. Guaranteed we'll probably have 1-2 people on there, I would think. Let's just go a little bit quicker. 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. So let's click on that train. Yeah, so we've got 4 people on that train. And this one's waiting. Oh, it looks like it might have been waiting 1.5 minutes, so it actually might have worked. Let's just bring this time down a touch. He's now going to depart. We've made $13 just in here. So there should be 13 people on here. 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep, $1 per person. Now this train should be waiting 1.5 minutes. We'll just see if it's all working out right as I put in the plan. Yes, but it's 1 minute 35, but it was pretty much spot on. So now that's all the trains going. So he's just departed from Goldhawk. He's going to come into here, and then 30 seconds later he's going to go. So let us just speed this up a touch, a little bit more, and then what will happen is as these all go, they will eventually kind of even themselves out. Right, let's just slow that back down again. So that one's coming out, this one's coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep, that is, look at that. Right, that is actually exactly how I wanted to have it. One train coming in, one at the end about to leave. One train coming in, one at the end about to leave. I couldn't have actually got that, well, I could have got it perfect, but that is pretty much spot on. For what I wanted to achieve. Now, obviously, depending on where you're building, depending on the population, depending on the train and the length of from station to station, you may have bigger gaps. Okay, I'm not saying this is how you have to do it for your particular layout. This is how I'm doing it for this network to maximize it. Having lived in London and worked in London for many years, and traveled on pretty much every tube line that there is in London. I haven't been to every station, but I've been on pretty much every tube line. The time between each train or each tube during the day is around about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Obviously, they do slow down in the evenings and then stop at some point. But the beauty of this game is it will, although there'll be less people in the evenings, you will still always have people using it, no matter what time of day or night it is. But that's pretty much it for this. All you need to do now is just let this run. Obviously, go a little bit quicker and just watch it. If you go onto lines and then you go to state, you can see, if we just slow this down actually because it's going a little bit too fast to see what's going on. You can see how long it's taking, how many people are on board, what the maximum capacity is. So us going for the bigger train, 130 meter or 127 meter long train, at this moment in time is not going to be needed. Like, we've got 21 people on there. Let's have a look at accounting so we can see roughly how much we're making. So running costs 338, maintenance minus 113, fares 8,000, total 7,700, and it's 10 o'clock in the evening. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to fast forward time until Monday morning. So here's the thing, right? Let me just come out of this. At the moment it will show it. If we go another level faster, because it's going so fast, the game will actually hide everything like this. Max map and UI is disabled in maximum speed mode, slowed down to cancel. So it's going really, really fast, but it just hides everything. I guess it's because it'll just probably get too glitchy. We're just going to go through until midnight Sunday stroke Monday morning. Slow this down a touch. So I just want to get it past the hour, so then we would have had a full Friday, full Saturday, full Sunday on our running. And let's pause. Right, so Monday morning, obviously we're not going to count today, but if we go into our company and accounting, then we go to accounting, we can see what's been happening. So let's go back. Thursday was an expensive day because this is where we built all of our stuff. But Friday was a full day, and we made a total of 465,000 for the day. Not too shabby, just because it's only this line. Saturday, it was a quiet day. Sunday, quiet day. Let's just have a look, see how much we make for a full Monday. Nearly there, 10 seconds. Just get it into that first minute. And pause the game. So we've had a full Monday now. Let's have a look at that. There we go, 405,000. So we're making around about 400,000 per day, Monday to Friday, and then probably be about half of that on the Saturday and the Sunday. That's not too shabby at all. We've still got $2.5 billion in the bank. That's going to be plenty to build the rest of this circle line out. And then once that's all done, we should be bringing in well over $1 million dollars a day. What do we need to make again? We need to be making 31 million per month. Quick little bit of maths, because I'm a bit of a nerd like that. But currently we're making calculator, thank you. Right, so 400,000 times, say, 30 days. 400,000 times 30 days is 12 million. We're currently making 12 million a month. We get the rest of this circle line done, we're going to be well and truly making our 31 million per month to be paying a loan. From there on, it's just all profit. Everything that we expand from then is going to increase our income. So that's pretty much it for this segment. A little bit shorter than the first video, but obviously the first video had a little bit more stuff to talk about. But this is how we set up our network. So obviously we lay the stations down, remembering, first of all, sort your accounts out, have a look at your population overlay, make sure that the stations are obviously going to be covering where you want them to cover. And once you've done that, decide what you're going to be doing, whether it's underground or overground. Decide on what trains you're going to be using, because that's going to obviously have an impact when you come to laying your stations down. Once you know what train you're going to use, so if I was using overground and I'm going to be doing, say, a network from London to Liverpool, I'm going to be wanting to use a fast train, so probably one of these two. So if I wanted to use this one, the dimensions is 200 meters long, so I need to make sure the station is at least 200 meters long, and that's it really. Obviously, if it's going to be going 350 kilometers an hour, there's no point in me having stations this close together, because it would never get up to that speed. There need to be long, straight or straight-ish sections of track. So that's, I can't really think of anything else really on the getting started. I'm just trying to think out loud. So money sorted, population where we're going to build sorted, decide what train we're going to use, make sure the station can cope with it, and that's probably about it really. So yeah, what we will then do now is, next episode is, we will build out the rest of the circle line and get that done, get a line put on there. How many trains? I don't know. I haven't actually done this segment off recording, so that's going to be new to me. So I need to have a look where the stations are, get them plonked down, and work out roughly how many trains. Personally, I'm going to probably go for one per segment, So from one to the other. So Paddington to Bayswater will have a train. Bayswater to Notting Hill will have one. Notting Hill to High Street Kensington will have one. Then to Gloucester Road, then South Kensington. So each segment will have a designated train. So that should make it nice and even with roughly 1.5 to 2 minute intervals. Anyway, we'll call it an end of an episode. Like I said, a little bit shorter this one than the first one, but hopefully this has kind of fermented the getting started segment of this game. It's fantastic. I am going to be playing this in multiplayer on Steve's channel. So for anyone that doesn't know, if you go onto Twitch and you go to, I will put this in the description below, but if you go to Steve Chess, STEVE, Steve, CHES _ then you will go to his channel. Loads of different things that he streams on there. I am part of the Sims and Stuff community, and I do stream on there a few days a week, farming, trucking, flying, and Saturday, which will be tomorrow for those of you that are watching this on Friday, will be the first multiplayer Nimby rails that I'm going to be in. He did do one last week which I wasn't on because it was my boy's birthday, but yes, I will be on that one tomorrow, so come over and check us out if you aren't already part of that community. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call it end of an episode. I will bring you back where we continue our circle line. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm actually going to pause the game so that you can see. If it'll let me pause it, I press the wrong screen. Pause the screen. We're going to be carrying on from this point, and I'm going to be doing the whole route with you in slow time. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed, so you get notified of when more videos come out. I'm going to be doing some giveaways in the future, so definitely be subscribed so that you know when that's happening. And other than that, stay safe and I will see you soon. Goodbye.